Yes, good evening, friends. Welcome to the session once again. I hope you all are doing good. Yes, come on, join. We will continue with our discussion that we have left on Friday. Okay, today we will continue from where we have left on Friday, that is the last session. We will be taking up part 4 of environmental geography. Okay, we have already finished part 3. Today we will continue with this part 4. Clear? If any one of you, if you are attending for the first time, you kindly go and see my previous video so that there is no break in any of the points that you will be reading or you will be watching. Okay, so today, environmental geography part 4. Tomorrow at the same time I will be conducting the part 5, and that will be the complete, okay, as far as this month is concerned. After which I will start the Indian geography. So if there is any section which is left behind from the environmental geography, I will take up next month. Okay? If you remember, I have already mentioned to you during our discussion of this oceanography, climatology or biogeography. Under biogeography also, we have only taken up the soil. There is other portion, that is plants and animal distribution. Under oceanography also we have left some portion. So I will take up all of this one by one. Okay. But as far as the timetable of or schedule of this month is concerned, we will finish tomorrow this environmental geography, after which we will continue with the Indian geography. Anyways, before we go into the session, I have some information to be announced from the Unacademy platform. As we wait for some more learners to join in, let me just give you some important information from the Unacademy platform, after which we will continue with our discussion. You see here, as you all know, every Sunday at 11 a.m. we have this Unacademy Compact. That is 56 MCQ questions in 60 minutes. This coming Sunday, that is 23rd of January, we have this at 11 a.m. Now your first Apple gadget is on us, that is in the Unacademy platform. You can participate and you can claim it, like iPad mini, MacBook, iPhone XR, okay, and amazing Amazon vouchers at the same time, along with the scholarship. Clear? Till now, around 4 lakhs individuals or learners participated here, that is the test taker, out of which around 50,000 plus has got some form of reward in the form of scholarship or in the form of gift. Okay, therefore there is no other alternative which is better than this UPSC CSE Mega Compact in order to revise what you have already learned, studied, and also at the same time in order to practice for your prelims. You lose nothing, you only gain. So you kindly subscribe, you kindly enroll for this. You can use my educator code in order to enroll for this, that is SUNEP10. Okay, kindly do so, it will benefit you. In Unacademy platform, because of popular demand, the introductory offer for UPSC CSE 2023 has been extended till 19th of January. Earlier, initially it was only till 12th of January, but because of popular demand, it has been extended up to 19th of January. Now you see here, you will be getting a 10% discount for 18 months combo with 78,999 rupees. But you will be getting a 10% discount. But if you use educator code, you will get another discount. So in total, you will be getting with this price if you use educator code. So you can use my educator code, that is SUNEP 10. Okay. Along with this, you will also get additional benefit, that is you will get an access to 20 GS book. If you can catch hold of this book, you don't have to go anywhere in search of any of the material as far as your UPSC GS section is concerned. Along with this, you will get an opportunity to sit for the test series also. Clear? Your prelims is there in 2022 prelims in the month of June. Taking this into consideration, Unacademy platform comes up with this comprehensive batch course on GS that is starting in the month of it is starting on 19th of January. And also, suppose if in your roadmap, if you are planning to sit for 2023, still you can go for Mission 2023, Lakshya 2023 or Expedition 2023. Clear? Optional courses which are getting launched in the Unacademy platform this month is Economics, Public Administration, History, Sociology, Philosophy, PSIR, Geography. Okay, so if any of the following is one of your optional, you can always enroll for this and take the benefit of the session. Clear? With that basic introduction, let us continue with our discussion today. So, first we have seen food chain and food web. Okay, you see here, under this environmental geography or environment, what we are discussing now? We are discussing ecosystem. Okay, biosphere, ecosystem we are discussing. So we have already discussed the basic structure of the ecosystem, that is biotic and abiotic component. During that discussion, we have already seen two important laws under abiotic component in the structure of the ecosystem, that is law of limiting factor and also law of tolerance. At the same time, okay, we have seen that two law. After that, we have seen the biotic component of the ecosystem. In that discussion, we have seen producers, consumer, decomposers. Okay. After that, we have seen the function of the ecosystem. Under this function of the system, we have seen there are different functions that it performs. That is cycle of the nutrient. And the second is the energy transfer. Okay. And the third function is the eco-regulation. Now, under the discussion of this function of the ecosystem, we are looking at this food chain, food web. We have seen the important characteristics of a food chain and food web. In the food chain and food web, we can only know the interaction among different organisms in the ecosystem and with the surrounding. Under food chain and food web, we are able to only identify the linkages. How many numbers of organism is supporting from one level, from one trophic level to the other trophic level, we don't have any idea. Therefore, in order to capture how many organism is supported from one trophic level to the other, we have introduced this pyramid of numbers. Under the pyramid of numbers, we have already discussed different types or different nature of the pyramid. That is upright pyramid, inverted pyramid, or it can be mix of both of this, inverted as well as upright. Okay, that is pyramid of number. That is one level or one trophic level, how many organism is supported by the other trophic level, so on and so forth. Today, In this discussion, we will begin with this pyramid of biomass. There are three types of pyramid, that is pyramid of numbers, which we have seen in the last class. The other one is the pyramid of biomass, which is in front of you. And the third one is pyramid of energy, which we are going to see next. Now, under this pyramid of biomass, now you tell me, the purpose of introduction of this pyramid of biomass is in order to know, you can say the size of the organism, or you can say the biomass in different trophic level. Therefore, if you see the pyramid of biomass in the tropical forest, it will look like this. The producers in this tropical forest biomass, you have this upright type of a pyramid. The inverted type of a pyramid is also possible under this pyramid of biomass. Under the pyramid of number, we have already seen inverted pyramid is possible, upright pyramid is possible, mixed type of pyramid is also possible. Under this pyramid of biomass, upright pyramid is, or you will find this upright pyramid in a tropical forest-like condition or forest-like location, which is there in front of you. On the other hand, inverted type of a pyramid of biomass can be seen in open ocean. So as the name suggests, inverted pyramid in a sense, pyramid of biomass, inverted pyramid of biomass will be like this. Like this. You see here, in the open ocean, the phytoplankton, due to very efficient photosynthesis, can support more mass of zooplankton. Therefore, I can write like this. Lesser number of phytoplankton, which is nothing but the producer in the land ecosystem or in the terrestrial ecosystem, it is the tree or it is the plant, which is nothing but the autotrophs. That is, with the insolation of sunlight, in the process of photosynthesis, manufacture their own food. In the ocean or in the marine ecosystem, it is the phytoplankton, that is the microscopic plant community in the marine organism. Because of the very high efficiency of photosynthesis, the biomass can hold more or can support more biomass of zooplankton, that is microscopic marine or animal organism. Therefore, as far as the pyramid of biomass is concerned, in the marine ecosystem, it is inverted. Clear? So, the pyramid of biomass is in the land area, it is upright, and it is inverted in the open ocean or in the marine environment. And pyramid of biomass refers to the biomass which is available at each and every different trophic levels. Clear? Now, let us quickly go to the third type of a pyramid, and this is nothing but the pyramid of energy. Now, we have already seen pyramid of number, pyramid of biomass. Pyramid of number and pyramid of biomass can be upright as well as inverted. We have already seen. As far as the pyramid of energy is concerned, we have already seen the flow of energy, or you can say, you can refer to the one law that we have discussed, that is Landemann's law or 10% law, that is energy which is flowing from one region to one trophic level to the other. And also, if you remember, we have seen one particular diagram that is like this. This linear line which is drawn here, it represents the flow of energy in the ecosystem. This cyclic or this circular diagram represents the cycle of nutrient, which means the cycle of nutrient in the ecosystem is circular in nature, which means plant decompose, it decompose, again it is taken up, like this. Whereas the energy, once it is a linear, means Once it gets lost, then it is lost forever. Therefore, pyramid of energy as such will always be upright. It will never be inverted. For the pyramid of energy, there is only one shape, or you can say only one orientation, and that is it needs to be, or it should be, or it will be always upright. Like this. There is no question of inverted or mixed type of pyramid as far as the pyramid of energy is concerned. Clear? Therefore, maximum energy will be there in the producer. Second will be the herbivore. Now this herbivore which feeds on this producer, some energy will be lost, and it is lost forever. It is not going to be fixed again in the different trophic level. Now this particular herbivore, when it is consumed by the carnivore, some energy gets lost. Therefore, the energy becomes less. And this carnivore, again, if it is eaten by other omnivore or carnivore too, whatever, but the important point is the pyramid of energy is always upright. Clear? Now, now the basic function of the ecosystem, as we have already seen, that is the nutrient flow, which we have already seen. During this nutrient flow, we have already seen what is the gross primary productivity, and also what is photosynthetic efficiency, and also we have seen what is net primary productivity. Okay, now what is the function? Function is number one, function of ecosystem, that is the nutrient flow. The second function is energy flow. The third function is eco-regulation. We have already seen the first function. Just now we are completing the second portion, that is the energy flow. Now let us go to the third important function of the ecosystem, that is eco-regulation. Okay, eco-regulation is as a function of the ecosystem. Now you see here, in order for this eco-regulation, you need to know we will be dealing with one important concept, that is ecological succession. Ecological succession, that is organism modify the abiotic conditions. Okay, from now on I will just be mentioning biotic and abiotic conditions, or abiotic and biotic components. We have already seen this under structure of ecosystem. Abiotic condition is the surroundings. Say for example, it may be the climatic conditions surrounding, it may be the soil condition, it may be any other surrounding condition which is known as abiotic condition. That is the sun insolation, the temperature, okay, the precipitation, the soil characteristics, topography. It will be abiotic condition. Okay, so organism, when I talk about organism, it is the biotic component, okay, in the structure of ecosystem. See, you kindly follow this systematically. Okay, so organism, that is the biotic component of the ecosystem, modifying the abiotic component or conditions in such a way that the new condition favor some organism at the cost of the other. That is known as ecological succession. Let me give you one example. Kindly follow, very very important. You see here, say for example, I have one particular land surface area. Right now, let me not tell you what is this surface area, which we will deal later. But just consider I have one particular land surface area of X characteristics. Okay. Now, this is the abiotic component, that is the type of the surface. It may be a soil, it may be a completely barren area, that is a rocky area. It may be a new lava flow area, that is the new area. It may be a permafrost region. Whatever it may be, I will have some surface, which is nothing but the abiotic conditions here. Now, say for example, some organism, okay, see, organisms on the planet Earth or on the Earth's surface, it is not homogeneous. There are some organisms who are sun-loving, There are organisms who are shade loving. There are some organisms that can live in a very higher temperature. Certain bacteria lives in a very high temperature. Okay, so certain, and when I'm talking about organism, it is not only about the big organism or the larger organism. When I'm using the term organism, it means any organism. It can be a bacteria, it can be a termite, it can be a lichens, whatever it is, but any organisms, okay, big or small, in ecosystem everyone is equal. Okay, now, so in this surface some organism will come. Now this organism, we know in ecosystem is nothing but the organism interaction among themselves and with their surrounding. Therefore the surrounding here is this surface, and along with this the climatic conditions. Now this organism will come here, will interact with the surroundings and will modify these surroundings. Say for example, just for the sake of example, let me tell you, this organism, when it comes on this surface for the first time, it may be in this organism there is no plant, but there are some other bacterial or some smaller organisms. Now some organisms will come here, will modify this area such a way that, say for example, some soil formation happens gradually. Under our discussion in biogeography, I have already mentioned to you, the soil is formed from the parent rock. So let us assume this is a parent rock. So certain organism came here, modify the environment, in a sense, some soil formation happened. Now when the soil formation is there, then there is a chances of certain vegetations to come. So the vegetation as such will not come suddenly. Okay, there will be certain kind of a grass which will come. Okay, a plant community may not come directly, but there will be certain grass which will come. Now this grass also, after it die down, it will provide humus to the surface, which means the soil horizon is becoming much better. Therefore the grass will finally again result in giving of certain kind of scrub forests, or certain herbaceous trees will be there. Now this will again further modify the area. Finally a full-blown tree may come. So see, that is how from one stage to the other, the organism, that is the biotic component, influencing or changing the condition of abiotic component in such a way that the new condition favors the organism at the cost of the other organism. Now during this process, the first organism which comes here, it can be called as a pioneer species. As the abiotic conditions, that is the soil conditions, the microclimate may also change. Now when it was completely barren, the climatic conditions may be a little bit different. But suppose if there is a tree that has already taken place here, okay, the coming of the tree, because of this tree, the climatic condition may also be modified and slightly, okay, however slightly it is, but some microclimatic variations will be there. Therefore it is influencing the abiotic conditions. Therefore the pioneering species which came here in the first might be absent now. Other organism has taken their place. Clear? Which means the new conditions favors the organisms at the cost of some other. That is known as ecological succession. Okay, this concept needs to be very, very clear. So any doubt? Now another important point is this climax stage, that is maximum use of the available environmental resources, that is known as the climax stage. Now you see here, from this barren surface, okay, finally giving rise to a forest type of a vegetation, after which it is not like it will continue infinitely to a newer environment. It will, under this concept of ecological succession, such kind of changes of this abiotic component and establishment of certain types of vegetations, or you can say establishment of certain organisms or organic or biotic component in general, that is a better word to use here. Okay, now it will stabilize after some time. It is not like it will continue to evolve newer environment or newer organism infinitely. It will stabilize at one particular stage. When it establishes at a particular stage, after that it will not modify any further, but it will try to maintain that state. Okay, the ecosystem, it will try to maintain that particular stage. It will not go ahead any further. It will maintain, it will try, if there is any change, it will try to maintain its stage there. Therefore, that particular stage, which is the final stage of ecological succession, it is known as climax stage. And as I have told you just now, after reaching the climax stage, it will not go further changes in the abiotic conditions. Okay, it will be stabilized there. Therefore, if there is any changes, then the ecosystem will try to maintain that particular area by negative feedback in the process of homeostasis. And that is nothing but the ecological regulation of the ecosystem. So the ecosystem will work in such a way, if there is any changes which comes, it will try to maintain the system in that particular climate stage itself. That's why it is known as homeostasis. That is known as homeostasis, and it is achieved by the negative feedback in the system. I am not explaining this negative feedback once again. Why? Because in the initial discussion I have already mentioned to you, ecosystem is nothing but the application of general system theory in the study of ecology. Clear? Now, we have positive system, we have negative feedback system. You kindly go and see. Anyways, ecosystem as an open system, that is age effect, species unique to it. The age effect is known as ecotone. We will see this later. Now, there are different types of ecosystem. Therefore, you kindly follow, okay? We kindly study this environmental section in a very systematic manner, so that with minimum remembering, okay, you don't have to remember just for the sake of memorization. You need to remember through understanding, so that you don't have to invest a lot of your memory time. Okay, clear? That is how you need to prepare. Anyways, there are different types of ecosystem. Let us classify them as per this Ellenberg's hierarchical classification. As the name suggests, hierarchy, in a sense, there are different stages. Okay, hierarchy, some are higher, some are lower. You see here, according to this Ellenberg's hierarchical classification of the ecosystem, the first comes the biosphere. If you remember, during our initial class, I have already mentioned, I have shown you one diagram regarding what is the scope of the study of this environment. Right from the atoms and cells, we have been seeing the hierarchy. We have seen, as far as the environmental geography or ecosystem is concerned, we will start from organism level up to the biosphere. Therefore, at the top, we have this biosphere, that is the largest extent in area, you can say, or largest amount of species, plant or animal. So, biosphere is the largest, it is all encompassing system. Then, in the second hierarchy, that is lower to this biosphere, we have this mega ecosystem. Okay, so consisting of different mega ecosystem will give rise to biosphere. That is how. This mega ecosystem can be a marine ecosystem. That is the entire ocean, or the ocean is a type of or marine ecosystem is a type of mega ecosystem. Then comes the limnic ecosystem, mega ecosystem. Limnic, in a sense, it is the fresh water. Semi-terrestrial, that is wet soil and air, can be a type of mega ecosystem. terrestrial, that is land area, aerated soil, that can be a type of mega ecosystem. Under this mega ecosystem, we have a macro ecosystem. That is, example, forest can be a macro ecosystem. Say for example, under this terrestrial ecosystem, all the land area can be known as a terrestrial ecosystem. But in the land area also, in certain places you have forests, in certain places you have, say for example, in certain area you will have forest. Now under this forest also, once again, under terrestrial ecosystem, that is all the land area, some places you have grassland, some places you have forest, some places you have a barren area. Okay, therefore the next in hierarchy and below this mega ecosystem can be a forest ecosystem, which will be a macro ecosystem. Clear? Now below this particular macro ecosystem in the hierarchy, it is the meso ecosystem. Example of meso ecosystem is, you see here, under the forest ecosystem also, there are different types of forests. There are evergreen forests, deciduous forests, coniferous forests. Therefore, under the forest also, if we classify or if we delineate different sections, deciduous forest can be an example of meso ecosystem. Below this meso ecosystem, further in the hierarchy below, is micro ecosystem. Example, under the deciduous forest also, there are different types of deciduous forests. Therefore, if deciduous forest is again further classified into smaller unit, it can be mountain deciduous forest. Clear? Down the hierarchy, below this micro ecosystem, you will find this nano ecosystem. And what is this nano ecosystem? Nano ecosystem is, you see, under the mountain deciduous forest also, if you classify the mountain deciduous forest into smaller unit, it will be mountain broadleaf deciduous forest. That can be an example of nano ecosystem. So this classification, Ellensburg hierarchical classification, is biosphere at top and nano ecosystem in the bottom. Now in the bracket which is given, that is the example, you can bring n number of examples here and correlate. Clear? I hope that is clear. Classification based on human intervention. Okay, this classification which we have seen just now, it is based on the hierarchical classification of the ecosystem. But if we classify the ecosystem based on the human intervention, broadly it can be divided into natural and artificial. Okay, broadly it can be divided into natural and artificial. Natural ecosystem is again further classified into two broad categories, that is aquatic ecosystem and terrestrial ecosystem. The aquatic ecosystem is further divided into three subunits. The first one is the freshwater ecosystem. Under this freshwater system, it is further divided into two, that is lentic and lotic. Lotic ecosystem, in a sense, lotic aquatic ecosystem, or you can say lotic means fresh aquatic ecosystem which are a running water. Example, the rivers. Okay, in river also you have water, in pond also you have water, but the ecosystem is different. Okay, ecosystem is different means in the river you have different plants and animal organism, in the lake you have different plants and animal organism. The sediments, the nature of, or the temperature of the river water, pond water is different, the salinity is different. Depending on all of these factors, that is the salinity, the temperature, okay, the velocity of the river, you can say, or the depth of the river, whatever it is, the organisms, plant or animal, will be present. Therefore, it is divided. It is not just for the sake of division that we are dividing this, but there is a significance, there is a difference, that's why. And why there is a difference, I have just mentioned to you. In the lake, in the river, the velocity of the river, the salinity of the river, the temperature of the river will be different. Therefore, the running water is known as the lotic ecosystem. Example is the river. On the other hand, the lentic ecosystem is the standing water. That is water which is stagnant. That is example, the ponds and the lakes. Clear? Now, the second category under aquatic ecosystem is the marine ecosystem. Okay, that is in the ocean. And the third is the estuarine. That is, what is estuary? The interaction, the zone of interaction between the fresh water which is coming from the river, okay, discharging into the ocean, which is a marine water, interaction of this. So in the estuary, salinity will be less than the marine but greater than the fresh water. And that is only one characteristics which I have just mentioned to you. Other characteristics will follow. Therefore, as far as the river is concerned, as far as the main ocean region is concerned, in this transitional area, the characteristics of the water, see, all of this is water, it is liquid, but the characteristics will be different in the estuary region. Therefore, depending on this difference in characteristics, the plant and animal organism which will be here will be different from this and will be different from this. That's why we delineate this as one separate ecosystem. And in fact, in the last class, we have seen the productivity of different ecosystems. Estuary, coral reef, all of this mangrove is one of the most productive ecosystem in the world. Clear? Then comes the terrestrial ecosystem and the natural ecosystem. That is, it can be either tropical or temperate ecosystem. Tropical, it is in the lower regions, that is near the equator, that is hot and humid. Temperate, on the other hand, it is cold in the higher latitude. Then comes the artificial ecosystem, that is the agricultural practices that we do, that is we cultivate, okay, and also the gardens, okay, any human, because of human intervention, like agriculture is a human intervention, so all of this comes under artificial ecosystem, that is the cropland, the garden, the plantation, so on and so forth. Clear? Ecological succession, let us go and see in a little bit detail. There are certain succession, that is primary succession, secondary succession, so on and so forth. Let us see. Primary succession is in an area, okay, the meaning of primary succession is if in any surface of the earth, if no organism is present, whatsoever it may be, then if some organism comes to that particular location and started to modify that abiotic component in order to initiate the process of ecological succession, such kind of succession is known as primary succession. What will be the example? Say for example, if there is a fresh lava which is coming out, outpouring of the fresh lava in the process of volcanic activity. Therefore, a lava is coming out from below, right? From the interior of the earth. Now the lava which comes, it flows over a surface. Now in this lava flow, this surface, after it cools down, solidifies, if some organism from other regions, say for example, if some organism comes here, and you see here, this is the fresh lava flow, which means prior to this, there is no other organism which was here. Therefore, the organism which comes here, what are the organisms, that I will tell later. But just remember, some organisms will come here. Such organism is known as pioneer organism, and such kind of a succession is known as primary succession, which means previously unoccupied area. Prior to the coming of this, there was no organism. There is no chance at all. Why? Because this is nothing but a fresh lava flow. Such kind of succession is known as primary succession. On the other hand, secondary succession means abruptly remove or destroy. Initially, okay, on the surface, there was some organism. Okay, there was some organism, but it was abruptly removed or destroyed, and some new species came and established there. Such type of a succession is known as secondary succession. Clear? Is it clear? Anyway, we will end the session here today. We will dig further in this ecological succession. There are many other, under succession also there are many different phases, that is nutation phase, migration phase, reaction, stabilization. We will discuss everything in detail tomorrow. We'll end the session here today. We will continue tomorrow at the same time. Anyway, thank you so much for your patience and cooperations. Bye bye.